Hello YouTube, this is FluffyBear69 here, bringing you the second tutorial in the UDK series on how to use and how to make your own games with UDK. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make brushes, and it's kind of hard to explain, but it's over here under the CSG Add, Subtract, Intersect, and De-intersect. Well, for right now, we're going to start a new project, and it's going to say choose a map template. Well, I don't want any of these, so just use blank map. And this is how the old UDK used to look, just when you first opened it, just blue grid with black surrounding. So basically, if you want to make a level, basically a room, you can go up to CSG, right click on CSG, add, and what this does is it's basically adding a mesh. It's like a mesh into the level, and CSG subtract is saying that the whole space, this whole entire vast space is a mesh, and you're subtracting apart from it. So really, no one uses CSG subtract, so I wouldn't really worry about it too much because we're just going to be using CSG add today. Well, how you use it is you right click on it and just left click on it will bring you to this, and go up here to brushes. Actually, undo that, it's not what I meant to do. Go up here to brushes. This is all the templates basically that you can make. So basically a cube, cone, curved staircase, cylinder, linear staircase, sheet, spiral staircase, tetrahedron, which is basically a sphere, and cards. Today we're just going to use a basic cube. So right click on the cube and it'll bring up this window, and this is how you set all the properties for your CSG Add cube. So since X and Y, I'm going to make the same value because it's going to be a square room. So I'm going to put it up to 500. And the Z, I'll just put up to like 3 or 300. Wall thickness doesn't really matter for this. Group name, you can name it, I'm not going to. And if you want an inside to this cube, or inside and an outside, you're going to want to check the hollow button. What this does is just makes a material on the inside and outside. So once you're done with that, you can just hit build and just exit it, and then up here on CSG, if you don't see a red box like this, just hit B on the keyboard and it will come up red, and that's what your brush will look like when you build it. So if you just click CSG Add, it will just do that, and then if you go inside it, there's an inside and everything. So that's pretty much how you do that. The reason for this is you're not always going to want to go into 3D software to make all of your rooms and buildings, and this is just a really low poly box that you can make that is highly efficient and will pretty much get the job done if you need this. So basically, let's say you have different levels and you're streaming them together. This would be a good way to do that, but that's way down the road, so don't even get into streaming levels because that's just way ahead of you right now. So that's how you build a basic room. This checkerboard pattern is what anything that's untextured looks like in UDK. It's basically just gives it something other than just being black, and it shows you that it has a UVW map on it, so the texture will be perfectly aligned basically, and it won't be stretched or anything. So let's say you don't want this to be like this, because right now, let's rebuild lighting. If you don't want it to be just checkerboard pattern, I'm going to show you how to put a texture on it. So whenever this is done, it's taking forever. Okay. Just do play level from here. I'll play from here. And there's no lights in it actually, so you can't see. So actually, first and foremost, I want to show you how to put a light in. A basic point light is just press the L key and left click, and that's a light. Just drag it up, and that's about good. Up here is the different kind of thing. So unlit means it's just gonna be bright no matter what. Lit is your actual lighting that you put in. Detailed lighting, that shows you where your lighting is actually going to. And lighting only, that doesn't show you any texture. And lighting complexity, I'm not really sure, I don't really ever use that. And then it keeps going on through here, which I never really use anything past lighting only. So for right now, just do lit, and that shows you what the room will look like. So then rebuild your lighting again, and when that's done, you'll be able to see the room. It's always fun rebuilding lighting. And then once that's done, can't do that. Go from here and play from here. And now you have this really tiny room that is, and this is a new feature in the UDK. If you want a gun and everything, go up to edit or view world properties, go to world info, hold on, actually, go to game type, under world info properties, go to game type, and it says default game type. You can change it to any of these. I usually just stick with UT Deathmatch because that's what I'll be using the most. So now when you play it, you have a gun and a hub. So that's do whatever. So that's entertaining, I guess. So that just gives you a more feel of it's an actual game. And we'll get into how to change these weapons and HUD and all that later on. So how do you change the textures? Go into the content browser, then go into the UDK game folder over here, then go into materials, and you can pick any of this. Most of these are UVW maps, so you're not going to want that, but like block wall, you can just drag it and place it on the walls. And I have the content browser on a different screen just so I can see, so don't get too worried about that. So yeah, just drag it to that, and then you can just put a floor in, just put a floor in and stuff, and that looks really good. And to change the UV tiling on this, double click and go into UV tile, and if you put it to like 0.5 by 0.5, maybe that will work. Let's try like 0.1 or something. 0.1. You can mess around with the UV tiling within here to make it stretch, or not really stretch, but make it just a one solid texture on there, so you can't see the individual lines. So see, like that, it kind of looks bad because it's stretched so much. So that's not really the best way to do it, but it will work for now. So basically, that's how you add a light, add CSG brushes, and add texture to walls. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it helped you. Please comment, like this video, and even subscribe to me if you want. There'll be more UDK tutorials to come, so be sure to stay tuned.